This is James from TeaDB bringing you another Inbetweenisode. So today I am drinking another ripe cake. I'm getting very close to finishing. This is the 2018 Menghai Tea Factory 7572 Dayi tea. I picked this up from the YunnanSourcing.us site along with a couple other ripe cakes. Just sort of my daily drinking session with my wife, and I am going to be drinking it on camera here. So this is probably as close to a standard recipe as you can get from my IT Factory. They produce 7572, I think, just about every year. So it's obviously one of their blends that they are doing some of the most consistently. Some of their blends, they'll do it every year. Other blends, they may only produce it once every 6 or 7 years. So there's kind of a range. So raw, the classic recipe is something like the 7542 and to a lesser extent 8582. And this, as far as I could tell, is probably one of those teas that they're just cranking out every year. They're probably making it in massive batches. And so it's and believe it or not, I had never actually purchased a cake of 7572, so this is my first time actually drinking through one, and I like it quite a bit. So as those of you who are familiar with some of these ripe episodes, I am on steep 4 or 5 here, just drinking it in a somewhat casual style, about 8.5 grams, 9 grams in here, slow pouring pot, hot water, boiling water. Yeah, so here we go. I would say that this tea has a little bit of a lot of things going on with it. It has a little bit of wood, some fruit. It's pretty soft overall, a little creamy, and I think the balance really combines it. A lot of these teas, I struggle to come up with what is really like the defining characteristic of it, and I don't think this one has like a single characteristic in terms of just like taste or texture or something that I enjoy. I just really like the way that it sort of all comes together in the balance. It's obviously a blend. This is probably about as opposite as you could get from some sort of like single origin tea. And I just think it's a very well done, very well balanced ripe. I could drink this in casual settings. Could drink this just about any time of the day. It's smooth. It's really easy to drink. I could drink this with dim sum. I could drink it on its own. Yeah, and I'd say compared to one of the other numbered recipes I've tried recently, the 7452, which I also enjoy, I think I like this tea just a little bit more, this blend. It's a little bit less of that sort of drier wood fruit taste that I recall from that tea. So ranking this just a little bit ahead of that tea, I think a lot of that just comes down to personal preference. I know Garrett, for instance, prefers the 7452 over this tea. So let's see. So really typical ripe smells to it, sort of that like fermented wood. I wouldn't say it's too heavy on the fermentation, nor would I say it's like overly too light. It sort of brews this nice looking reddish black color, and that's consistent with what I've found. Thickness is moderate. Yeah, just really, really easy to drink, really easy to just digest. Okay, so I am giving this tea a 6.1 rating. It's something enjoyable. Could drink regularly, but not impressive. I'd say it's at the very top of that category. I don't think it's quite at the really special level of ripe tea, but I do think this is a very standard ripe tea. So for anyone that is like, it's standard for a reason ripe tea, I think it's good quality. Definitely recommend anyone that's curious about trying sort of like as standard as you can get recipe. This one is a good one to try. You should be able to get it fairly inexpensively from a place like Yunnan Sourcing. Yeah, so I mean, Dayi definitely makes teas that are trying to do more. And the last thing I'll talk about is sort of the leaf blend. This is 7572. Those of you that are not familiar, so it says it right here on the package. So the 75 means the recipe, was invented in 1975. 7 is the average leaf grade, which is not quality, it's leaf size. So 0 to 9 is how they do the grading, so leaves on the larger end, and 2 is the tea factory there. So that's sort of how it breaks down. So definitely would recommend it for anyone that really drinks ripe regularly and wants something inexpensive to try. If you're not a regular ripe drinker but just want to get like a good benchmark, I think it's also a good choice for that. So yeah, that just about concludes this episode. I will continue to drink this tea. I'm going to finish off this cake probably in the next week or so, and I will see you all next time.